The writer keeps assuming that I am in his or her head. We're not. I am struggling to stay there, and we just receive pronouns. This, it, left and right. I'm just following the writer. Yes, okay, what's next? This refers to, okay, let me go back and check it. Oh, no, come back. All right, what's it? What's it? Oh, this is it. Oh, this is the strategy. Oh, okay, all right. Oh my goodness. It's a nightmare to make children busy with something. Yes, controlling them, they're all over the place. If they're naughty, which most cases they are, well, controlling them, organizing them, making sure that they don't waste their time too much on some video games or some stupid games, and they know or they fully understand what benefits them for the future and what doesn't, is absolutely important. And as a parent, maybe you have seen it, or maybe you are a parent, that it's a very, very difficult job. Either way, we're here to discuss a very interesting topic regarding children and how they actually manage their time. Welcome to IELTS Juice. The rubric says, some people say that parents should encourage their children to take part in organized group activities in their free time. Organized group activities. And we're talking about parents and children. Others say that it is important for children to learn how to occupy themselves on their own. So there are some other people who believe that, well, children need to learn everything just by trial and error. They try, they find the solution, or in many cases they don't, so they have to try again and try again until they manage to solve that problem. Well, that's another idea, and it works in some situations under some circumstances. Well, that's the key, because the rubric also says discuss both views and give your opinion. So we need to discuss both of these views separately, independently, and then we can share our own opinion here. So the topic and the audience. The topic is about children and how they spend their time. Now, there are two categories here, or there are two camps. The first camp believes that it's the parents' job to find some organized group activities for their children to basically make themselves busy with something productive. There is another camp who believes that children should be left alone and they can come up with something all on their own to, make themselves busy with something. Hopefully it's productive. Well, based on these approaches, we're talking about children, not teenagers, not young adults, and we're also talking about parents. So we're looking at families with parents and children. Please be careful. These elements are important. With the analysis out of the way, let's look at the response. Okay. The approach of entertaining children, the approach to entertaining children is a controversial issue. Some people believe that parents are responsible to persuade, it's a good word, their children to participate, for participating actually in organized team activities in their free time. Others, this comma is separating two sentences. We needed something like while. Some people believe, then comma, and then you carry on, but we don't have, so we need a semicolon here. Others think that it is significant for children to learn the way of occupying themselves on their own. I will discuss it here. It. What's it? Children is plural. There are 2 camps, not 1 camp. We talked about children in 2 concepts, and there are 2 versions of it, and parents are also involved. They are plural. What does it refer to? If this means the topic, we didn't say anything about the topic here. You know, you cannot use a pronoun when the whole concept of having a pronoun is to stop repeating the noun. You cannot start a sentence by saying, "Hi, I already talked to him." And you go like, him? Who's him? Which him? Who? What? I mean, yeah, So you cannot have a pronoun without a noun. You have to have a noun in the previous sentences, and in order not to repeat the noun, you can use pronouns. So this, I understand it hopefully means the topic, but I don't have the word the topic in the previous sentences. On the one hand, yeah, on the one hand, I'm not very comfortable with this discourse marker for this particular context, but let's see. I don't say anything. I don't at this point. It's not right or wrong. I'm just a little bit skeptic. Those who support the first viewpoint, parents are responsible to persuade their children. This is the first viewpoint. The viewpoint that believes parents are responsible, you know, to put their children's time into good use. Point out that I don't need full stop is meaningless. The sentence continues. This is extra. That this strategy, what strategy? Probably the strategy to persuade their children to participate in organized team activities has, because it's singular, positive effects on them. Okay. And I don't know them. Again, I'm assuming them refers to children. It could contribute, it refers to the strategy here, could contribute to them to be sociable. Again, children. By joining, I don't need in, organized team activities, this comma is correct. Children would have to interact with other members from a useful relationship. Probably this is form, not from. So you interact with people to form a useful relationship, not from. And then if this is form, this is not necessary. Contacting them, I don't need preposition. You contact people. Contacting them and having a conversation about that activity. I don't know which activity we are referred to here. Helps, I think it's, I don't need the comma here. And these are 2 elements, aren't they? Contacting them and having a conversation. There are 2 activities. Help them to learn fundamental principles. Fundamental principles in very, very generic term. We can learn the principles of gravity when interacting with other people. Or, I don't know, the cooking principles. This is, I mean, it's not specific. We needed to define the fundamental principles regarding negotiation. Yeah, Yeah, that's actually very good. If I mean, when children interact with each other, they learn to negotiate and reach a common ground. That is reasonable. But this is not correctly worded in this sentence. With each other, which is part of socializing. Correct. This may improve a lot of it. The writer keeps assuming that I am in his or her head. We're not. I am struggling to stay there, and we just receive pronouns. This, it, left and right. I'm just following the writer. Yes, okay, what's next? Oh, this refers to, okay, let me go back and check it. Oh, no, come back. All right, what's it? What's it? Oh, this is it. Oh, this is the strategy. Oh, okay, all right. Oh my goodness. This way improves one aspect of their character, which is, we don't know. It's just one aspect of their character. No information is given. Secondly, they could learn to share. This one E is extra. Their ideas with other members and reach, I don't need this, an agreement. Is it a second thing? Because this is basically the principle of negotiation. I feel it's the continuation of the previous sentence. It's not a separate thing. In this practice, it's a practice. I thought it's a principle. Principle means it's the theory. Then we say it's a practice. It's what you do. Theory, action, two separate things. They could learn to respect others, apostrophe must come after S, beliefs, and would refine the principle of teamwork. It's all one word. Like homework, teamwork is one word, which is based on collective thoughts. Very generic sentences, over explanation of something that we know, and instead avoiding saying the exact thing that we are actually here for. We are here to learn why these parents believe they must be in control of their children and organize their activities. I didn't see any parenting here. It's just like, yeah, if they do it, they learn how to negotiate and they get along with each other very well. Okay, what's the role of parents? Parents basically disappeared here. We just focused on the benefits of negotiation. If children interact with each other, they learn something. Yes, we know that's fine, but that's not the idea of the first camp. The first camp believed that children do not organize, they cannot organize their time. It's the parents' responsibility to intervene and organize the time for the children. Well, we just focused on the benefits of having conversations. All right. And we didn't even focus on children. Instead of children, we could replace it with managers, and the same thing would apply. Like managers talk to each other and they reach a certain agreement. It doesn't matter if you are a child or a manager. If you talk long enough, you can reach an agreement. That's the principle, of course, but the focus of this particular essay was on children. Remember, I have to keep reminding you, the audience is children and their parents, not Apple CEO or some Fortune 500 company's board of directors. No. And that's everything I heard applied to basically all the people I mentioned so far. On the other hand, I'm still not very comfortable with this because these two are not really contradicting each other. We have a group that believes parents should be in charge, and we have another group that believes, no, parents should basically step back and let children be in charge of their time. Do they really contradict each other? They're the opposite? I don't know. I don't feel comfortable with this discourse marker here. I cannot say it's bad. I'm just saying it's not the best fit here. I'm not going to consider it as an error. It's not an error, but definitely not a choice that I would make for my essay if I were the writer in this rubric. Those who advocate the opposite view cite that there is a reason which is of paramount significance, the opposite view. I love the word cite. It's a good one. Which is of paramount significance. Okay. Again, paramount is a good word. I don't like the word opposite here. I don't see they are opposite. Maybe the writer believes they are opposite each other. I'll leave it at that. Maybe the writer and I should negotiate further. They, who does they refer to? Those who advocate the opposite view have to learn? No. Who's they? Oh gosh. They have to learn a new skill in their free time. Children! This is the beginning of the paragraph. We need to introduce again who we are talking about. Children have to learn a new skill in their free time, which would amuse them. All right? Planning for an activity to be entertaining means that it should be constructive, that it adds a positive dimension to them, and it appeals to children. So as to do in their free time alone. Very good sentence, too generic. I see that we don't get into the details. We just stay away. We maintain a distance from the topic. The writer just stays out of the negotiation, unlike the claim in the essay, and doesn't get into the negotiations deep and doesn't realize what needs to be done. I just keep receiving these generic sentences. It's constructive. In what way constructive? It's beneficial. It's good. How? It appeals to them. In what area it appeals to them? Give me at least one example. Oh, I see a word example here. Let's see. It leads to getting involved in acquiring a new skill which is useful and entertaining for them. Oh, entertaining for them. Okay, again, generic, not helpful. For example, okay, comma. Building a maquette. Maquette. Oh, it's not spelled correctly. It's a French word. And simultaneous would amaze them, and simultaneous would improve the skill. And simultaneously, I don't need this, improve the skill of making a maquette, which is an incentive. I need a comma here, which is an incentive to do it later on their own. That's not a very good example. It's not very helpful. The only part about it is that, yes, we took one step closer to giving the reader some details, but it's not enough. As they would face, I don't need this, difficulties of making a maquette. Yeah, this is not market, it's a maquette. And then solving it. You don't solve a maquette. It leads, I'm lost. I don't know which it refers to which element. It leads to boosting their self-confidence. 2 words, please. The second body paragraph was more confusing than the first one. Referencing issues. And also, I understood in this paragraph, we kind of loosely let children decide all by themselves, which is related to the topic, but we didn't do a very good job of convincing the reader that this is exactly what we wanted. We just mentioned some generic sentences. It's going to be entertaining and useful. Okay. Should they do it all by themselves? What's the difference if a parent supervises the whole system? It is still going to be useful and entertaining for them. In conclusion, according to different views about the way in which parents should persuade their children to join, I don't need this, organized activities or learn how to entertain, actually infinitive with to, but I need the verb format, not ing one, the simple format, themselves alone in their leisure time, I would hold the first, according to, this is not a sentence. All up to here is not a sentence. I need a comma then. I would hold the first view because we just say because of having positive views towards socializing, which could be useful for their future. Very generic. And the writer just started explaining to me why he believes in the first view. I just realized in the very last sentence that the writer, which one is the writer's opinion, and it's just, we even say it and then we start telling us why. There's because of having positive views towards socializing. Not good. I'm not happy with the conclusion. 374 words, certainly a lot of words just wasted, really. Focusing on generalizing, saying sentences that are generically correct, that are correct for everybody, everywhere, every company, every CEO, every individual, doesn't matter that individual is a child or a teenager or a young adult or an adult or a senior citizen or retired. The essay lacks focus, and more than that, even the development is not to the point, doesn't help. Let's look at the band descriptors. Okay. Yes, you can see that I'm not very satisfied with the task. It's not addressed properly. Only the second camp made a little bit more sense than the first camp. The first camp was completely focused on the positive aspects of team activity and children talking to each other. Parents were completely off the game. That's not good. The second one was more related, and the writer's opinion was just stated. You have a relevant position, but the conclusion is unclear. And even the points discussed were overgeneralized. So that all of them contribute to 5. Referencing is, of course, an issue. We had at least a couple of faulty sentence transitions because the sentences were not identified as sentences, or the connector wasn't a very good connector. The organization, we had an overall progression. Remember, in the introduction, we just said, I will discuss it here. Discuss what? Based on which elements? What comes first? What comes next? What happens with the writer's opinion? We only realized the writer's opinion in the very, very, very last sentence. And the information inside was not organized clearly. There was in the first body paragraph, we had one element, and then we had secondly, which wasn't a secondly, it was just another, it was the continuation of the previous topic. We had some vocabulary errors, we had some grammar errors, and those grammar errors, especially punctuation errors, affected my understanding. Some sentences were cut short, which weren't sentences, and some of them were just phrases, but again, we had a full stop at the end to make them look like a sentence while they weren't sentences. This essay needs a lot of grammatical and vocabulary improvement. For this, from 5.5 to get 7, discourse markers must be changed, referencing must be changed, and also when we address the task, we actually need to develop it a little bit further. Anyway, if you wish to see the improved version of this essay, there's a link in the description below. If you click on it, it will take you to the dedicated page for this essay. You will see the original work, you will see further information about the assessment, and also down below you will find the improved version. On that note, I hope I'll be assessing your representative next. Maybe another essay, maybe a report or a letter. Until then, take care.